All right, child's pose. And toes together, knees wide. And bring your forehead to the floor. So I'm gonna just kneel here while you guys come into that position together. So again, take care of your body today and know that when we come to our mat, that it's an opportunity to allow energy to move through your body. So whatever you're dealing with today, there's a lot. We've all been dealing with so much. Just allow this opportunity to be a place, a time and space that is for you. So do what feels right in your body. Allow the energy to move through your body. This is what we're doing. We're going to move kind of slow and steady and keep this a very grounded practice. So maybe not a lot of standing poses, just really low to the ground. And again, just like take what you need. Also noticing the breath, if that is a thing for you today, that the breath just feels like you can't breathe all the way down into your belly. Just breathe where you can. Notice if it's getting stuck somewhere in the throat, and just be okay with that. Just let it be there with a lump in your throat, if that's what you're dealing with, like me today. Yeah. So just breathe. See the numbness wears off, and just sit with yourself. Whatever it is you're feeling. So maybe it's still in the numbness phase. And whatever you're feeling is perfectly perfect. So find a level of allowing what is happening to be there and just sort of stay with that, whatever it is. Stay with your breath. So again, you're in a child's pose and just letting the forehead be heavy on the ground. And it feels right to turn your palms to the ceiling. So let your arms open up while you settle into your body. I like to move my hips side to side. Just encouraging some of the stagnant energy that we've been feeling perhaps in our bodies. Some of that emotional energy to be able to move through us. Let it come out through your exhales. So just meet it where it is, meet yourself where you are, and allow the breath just to soften as you let it go. Allow the body to soften as you let the exhales go, just like little waves in and out. So just because we are relatively stuck. I don't know if you're stuck at home or if we've been so isolated. It doesn't mean we need to be stuck in our bodies. So thank you for being here, for showing up, and for moving your body, for allowing your body to express whatever's happening through your body. It's so important to have that outlet for the energy to move. So please listen to the intelligence, the wisdom. Maybe you stay in your child's pose this whole time. Rely on your back. Whatever you need, please take what you need. Again, coming back to the breath, I want you to, if you can, today particularly, is just to listen to the sound of your own breath. So this very, self-soothing. To me, the breath is like a way to self-regulate. It's a way to just be, in my body. And it's also an interruption of the ego mind. So the mind that is really busy, or the mind that is in fear, whatever the thoughts might be, it's normal, they're there, let them be there, but then just gently kind of allow the breath to be the focal point. It doesn't mean it has to be the focal point the whole time. Success is just being able to stay with the breath, even just one breath at a time, every once in a while. There's no pressure. But if you can, just right now, start to listen to the sound of your own breath. So you're in child's pose, or maybe by now you've moved into a puppy stretch if your knees or your groin is starting to talk back to you. Just a couple more breaths here. Again, and noticing where the breath is able to go today. Again, it might only be coming into your throat, and that's all right. Just let it be there. Maybe you're allowing the breath, or the breath is moving into your heart. Just notice where it's moving. Notice the energy of the breath wherever it goes. If you can, maybe start to invite the breath to move a little deeper into your belly, allowing some of that tension that you're holding, perhaps in your abdomen, your hips. Just let it like wash over. So as you breathe in, send it towards your hips. And as you breathe out, open your mouth. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Good. Just 2 more here together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just take 1 more together. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Rise up into your tabletop. So I'm going to face you guys here. So table position. Hands can press down, shoulders over your wrists. Let your hips sway side to side for a moment. Let your head be heavy. Okay, so you can find some circles with your hips here. Just breathing in and out. You come back into your neutral and slowly walk your hands over to one side. Keep your hips up in the air and just extend through that arm, whichever arm is in the center, right? So reach through there. You can bend the other elbow. So my right arm is extending, my left elbow is bent. And just reach through so you can push the floor away with your fingertips and find this big opening through your side body, your ribs. And again, noticing your breath, just notice the sound. Okay, come back to center slowly. Just really mindfully working the body to the other side. Just breathe into that, to the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. You can drop your head. You might even look underneath your shoulder. Expand and contract on purpose. Letting the breath fill you up. Exhale, empty it out. Come back slowly to center. Beautiful. Hands press and walk them forward just slightly. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Okay, so down dog here. Just walk it out. Paddle out your feet. Take up as much space as you need today. So your feet might be a little wider than normal. Give yourself more room. What feels good. Press deep into your knuckles with your hands on the floor, on the mat. It's like you're lengthening from your knuckles all the way to your armpits. And then from the armpits up into the hip flexors. So just notice that the back of your sitting bones are lifting up. Sitting bones lift to the ceiling. Let your head shake out here a few times. Beautiful. Okay, look towards your hands. Walk your feet forward and just stay here in a fold. Feet are about hip-width apart. Bend your knees. Fingertips light on the floor or grab your opposite elbow. And again, just let your body be heavy here. On your own, just noticing your breath. Notice the sound of your breath once again. Be really quiet, really subtle. And you might start to press deeper into your feet here and just start to lift the sitting bones again, straightening your legs, depending on your hamstrings. This is okay to be here with a big, generous knee bend. Start to move your body, a little bit of a torso sway. Belly pulling towards your spine. Just take 1 more breath here. And then release the hands down, step back, plank position, slowly walk the feet back, shoulders right over your wrist. Your knees are either on the ground or knees off the ground, shoulders pinning away, down your shoulders, belly squeezes in and up, and then thighs lift up. Take one huge breath here. You drop your knees and slowly lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, cobra, lift up. Exhale, come back down. You just settle, bring your forehead down, sway your hips side to side. And do that again. Inhale, cobra. Tops of your feet press, open up your chest. Soften the shoulders down your back. Maybe this time look up. Come back down, exhale. Okay, push back up into your plank. So knees on or off the ground, downward facing dog, exhale. Beautiful. Bring your knees back to the earth. Child's pose, sink your hips back. Soften your forehead down. Just notice your breath, breathe in. Okay, breathe out. 2 more like that, just breath, inhale. Exhale. Last one here together, in. Breath all the way out. Inhale, back to your table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right leg, reach it back behind you. Step it forward, runner's lunge. Hands on either side or hands on the inside. And we're gonna do a little bit of a dynamic movement, very slowly, slowly, slowly. So it goes like this. We're gonna do that runner's lunge, right foot forward, open up into a twist. Bring your hands back down, step it back, downward facing dog. Okay, left foot steps, runner's lunge. Take a breath. Open up, find your twist. Hands down, downward facing. Right foot steps. Twist. Hand down, step it back. Left foot. Open it up. Hands down, downward facing. Again, right foot. Open. Down, downward facing. Left foot, twist. Hand, downward dog. Right foot, twist. Hand down, step it back. Last one here, step it forward. Twist it out. Hand down, downward facing dog. Take your feet wide. Take your feet all the way to the edges of your mat and just take all the weight over onto the right side. So without having to shift too much, just bring the weight over. Feel what that feels like in the side of that right leg. Notice. Take a moment just to be with those sensations that you're feeling. And then switch it over, noticing the weight on your left side. So just pressing a little deeper into the left hand. Again, the knuckles, the palm, the edge of your left foot. And then come back to your center. And once again, here, you're going to step the right foot forward, runner's lunge. Hands on either side. Okay, so just staying close to the floor, we're just grounding down. Feel the big toe mound of your right foot pressing into the ground. And again, you might have a little bend in your back knee. We're just going to come up. So push deep into the right foot and then let the fingertips come off the floor cover. Again, these are all suggestions, remember? So you could be down on your lunge, your knee could be down on the ground. If you're here, you can stay, just lengthen your heart away from your back heel. And if you can, come on up with a little hover. So again, you're noticing that right glute. Just squeeze, push the floor away with your right foot. And just for a moment, keep the heart reaching forward and then engage the arms fully. Imagine you had a little beach ball behind you. Squeeze the ball with your fingertips. Just breathe here. Take one more big breath. Great, and then bring your hands down. Stay in the lunge. Take one more huge inhale. Okay, and then step your left foot in a little bit closer. And then from here, again, you might need to bend your back knee quite a bit. And then to take this nice little hinge. So you're moving over that front leg. Again, you might be on your back tippy toes to get this. You might have a nice big bend in the front leg. Either way, so you might also have flat feet and then start to hinge over your front thigh. Pushing down into your right foot to send your right hip back. And I want to just invite you to also squeeze your outer hips together. And keep your spine long as you hinge over your thigh. Bending the knee again, always, if you need it. One more breath. Okay, now we're going to come onto that front foot only. So bend your front knee, walk your fingertips forward, lift up through that back leg, and just take a moment just to find a little standing splits. Just take one big breath here. Reach through your toes. Beautiful. And then bring your feet down, fold over your legs. Take a long breath here. And a long breath out. Inhale just to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back, plank position. Slowly lower down all the way this time and take your hands by your sides. Engage your legs. Lift your head, lift your chest. And then start to add the legs. Lift the legs. Inner thighs lift, locust pose. So reach back to your fingers. Good. Palms might open towards the ceiling or turn down, depending on your shoulders. You could also have your hands down on the ground. Good. 2. Inner thighs lift, shoulder blades down your back. One more breath. And then release everything down. Bring your hands underneath you to rest your forehead. Sway your hips side to side. Just noticing how your breath sounds now. Hands underneath your shoulders again. Inhale to cobra, lift up. Exhale this time through downward facing dog. Okay, and then you're just going to step your left foot through, runner's lunge. Again, the options are knee down, knee up, fingertips light, hands down. So many options. Just notice where you are right now. Stay with yourself, stay with your breath. Push deep into the left foot. Again, the big toe mound right underneath your big toe. Just push it down a little deeper. The heel of your foot or the pushing down. Lift your fingers off the floor, a little hover. Okay, so you're engaging your core, belly lifts. Left hip kind of peels back just a little bit. Reach your arms back. Engage the back leg if you can, or have a little bend in the knee. Okay, squeeze the shoulder blades, lengthen your heart forward. Reach your hands back. Squeeze the inner elbows towards each other. Okay, one more. Very long breath. And then you're going to bring it down. So fingertips land. Stay in your lunge just for a moment. Press your heel back or drop your knee. Neck is long, so you're looking down just to find some of that length. You're going to bring the weight into your left leg this time. Walk your fingers forward. Slowly rise up onto that left leg. Lift your right leg, standing split. Look back if you can. Again, your knee can be bent here. Just start to reach through the toes. Bring it all down. Feet together. Wide. Fold over yourself. Shake out your head. Feel your feet. And just notice your breath. Beautiful. Hands can press down again. Step your feet back. Downward facing dog this time. Beautiful. Really, really good. Just work out the heels a couple of times. Bring your knees to the floor. Child's pose. Sink back. Oh, I forgot one thing, you guys. Sorry. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, let's come back. Bring your left foot back, just because even if it's out of sequence, it doesn't matter. Bring your right foot forward. And we're going to do that fold over that front thigh. I apologize. So you can bend your right knee again. Let's just do it from here. And again, you're going to fold over the front leg. I was totally thinking, like, what am I missing here? bend the front knee as well. See if your forehead can work its way towards your front shin. It doesn't have to get anywhere near it. You can also have both knees bent. Okay, last big breath here. Pushing deep into the front foot if you can. And this time to come out, we'll go to downward dog from here. So plant the hands, step back downward facing, and then back into your child's pose, drop your knees. Forehead lands softly on the ground, arms heavy to the floor. Okay, so a couple of deep breaths here. And then you're going to come up again, tabletop. And from here, from table, we're going to do one of my favorite poses called gate pose. So from the table, you're going to take, I'm going to try to mirror here. So bring your left leg out to the side. Okay, so just like this, you're going to find an angle that works for your hip, your knee, your foot. So it might be that you turn the toes in. So whichever way works, again, in the direction of your knee. So usually knees and toes in the same direction. And you can stay here just with this pose, feeling the inner thigh, the groin, kind of getting a nice little opening. I also start to feel this in the edge of my, through the ankle. So pressing down into the floor with the pinky toe side of your left foot. You can stay right here with a tabletop arms. You could start to walk your hands forward, so almost like a puppy stretch. So you're pressing down into your hands. You might start to send your chest towards the floor, send your hips back. Forehead might land. You could also come down just to your forearms. Just keep breathing into the places that are needing your attention, which again could just be shallow breath right now, today. Don't worry about that. Just breathe. Notice the sound. The next variation of this pose might be if you feel your knees don't mind and your back is okay, you could start to sink your hips back like you were in a child's pose, like a half child's pose with that leg extended. And just notice that position. Palms can open, forehead down. So action through the pinky toe side of your left foot. Just keep it, try to keep it grounded on the floor. And you're going to take one more breath here. And then slowly begin to come back to your neutral. So I'm all the way back, so I'll come all the way up into a table. I'm going to drag my left foot back into center. I'm going to sit on my knees. So if this is available to you, you can stay here. Otherwise, you could sit on your sitting bones. So we're just going to find a little stretch here. So interlace your hands above your head. Bring the palms up over your head, soften the shoulders down. And I want you just to shift your weight over to the left. Okay, so here, you know, your feet are still touching. My feet are on top of each other. And then from here, the right hand comes down. You just get a little stretch. You can do this way. Good. So you're reaching up with the left arm. Press down into your right fingers. It's lateral stretch. Up and out of your waist. Take one more breath. You could add a little twist here. So bring your left hand down on your right thigh and then start to twist. Just a gentle twist. If you're doing this seated in a or a simple sukhasana, you could also do this. The other way, just a little twist the other way. And then you're going to come back through center. Come into your table. So now just giving your hips a little sway out. Keep your left knee down, right leg extends out. Okay, so half gate pose. Taking the time to find the angle that works for your knee, your foot. Staying here in the tabletop position, pull, zip up the lower belly, press into the edge of your foot. Again, all of these are just invitations, suggestions. Work with where your body is right now. Just let the energy be able to move through, so getting a nice kind of juicy stretch. Again, you could walk your hands forward in a nice puppy stretch variation. Head might come down. Perhaps you're down on your forearm. So always the options here. And notice how each side is different. You could stay here, or you could come back into this variation, which is like a child's pose variation, your hips back. Keep the energy alive in this right leg. So if you can, notice the pinky toe side of your foot pressing into the floor. So a little lift of the arch of your foot. You might even engage that right leg all the way down. So feel the glute engaging. A little lift of the inner thigh. Okay, 2 more breaths. And you're going to make your way back into a neutral position. Slowly come back to that tabletop. Okay, you're going to drag your right foot back in. Very slowly this time, just take a few moments to let your hips sway again a few times. Maybe a cat-cow here. Inhale, look up, exhale, round. And then if you can come into a kneeling position. So this time you're going to bring the weight over onto your right side. And just start to reach up. So fingertips now, the left fingertips, right arm reaches up. Lift up out of your waist, drop the shoulders down your back. You might even look up towards the ceiling. Notice your neck, if it feels good in your neck. Reach through the fingers. Beautiful. And you can add that little twist this way. Twisting towards your left. Nice. Come back to center again. And then from here, you're going to go into a downward facing dog. So just slowly step back. So you're going to unwind and let all the blood come to the back of your knees. Walk it out. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And come back to the sound of your breath. And take your right leg, reach it back. Take a pigeon pose, knee comes through. Okay, so whatever variation you're working with, so pigeon pose, or again, the wheel of life position. So if you're working with a knee injury or a low back, that pose is not available to you. You can just come here. So it looks a little bit like this, and the weight is on that left, or we'll do whichever side you're on. And just slowly fold forward. So that or the pigeon. So you either usually love this pose or you have a somewhat love-hate relationship with this pose because it brings up so much sensation in your body. And if that's the case, and see where in your body you can soften and move a little bit towards the sensation. So use your breath to help you with that. So I find if I just sort of, instead of holding on, sometimes I hold and kind of squeeze and use a lot of the energy of my back leg. And that also helps me go a little deeper. Sometimes it's just to soften and let go, bringing a little bit more weight into the side. You can take your arms, reach them forward, or maybe you need a lot of support. You can rest your forehead on your thumbs. Take one more breath together here on the side. Inhale fully. To the extent of your breath today. And then exhale, just soften, let your mouth open. Hands on the floor. Just take a little pause here and then downward facing dog. You release that slowly. Let all of that dissolve. Just feel how perhaps the body wants to move, fidget. See if you can stay with that sensation as it dissolves. Coming from a place of choosing what you do next. Okay, so just walk it out a little bit now. And you'll take the other side, your pigeon. Again, regular pigeon, or you could take that wheel of life position. You hinge over your knee. So the hands can be on the ground. So you might start here and then eventually work your way down if possible. If you have blocks, you can either have your hands on blocks, whatever works. You could then start to walk your hands, if you're in the wheel of life, to the center between your knees. Just whatever you're choosing, be gentle. Just be gentle with your breath here. Be gentle with anything that is arising in your body, any sensations. Just really tender, really slowly breathing, slowly moving. You might let the hips move side to side here, just encouraging those big muscles to soften a little bit. Let your shoulders move away from your ears. And just take what you need. Always listening to the feedback in your body. Learning to trust the feedback that's coming back at you in present time. Physically. Not pushing past anything that feels like forcing or pain in the body. So you always have the option of coming out whenever you need to. Let's just take a couple more breaths here, wherever you are. Okay, last full breath in and out. And then again, this time you're just going to come out of your pigeon or your hip pose into a downward facing dog. Really slow. Take your time. Again, finding a way to find stillness. You can choose stillness here. Use your breath. Listening for your breath. One more together. In. Big exhale. Drop your knees. Okay, come on to your back. Slowly. Nice. Laying back. Head on the ground. Hips heavy on the ground. Feet on the ground. And just take your feet hip width apart. You're going to come up and we're just going to do a few little pulses here. So I want you to feel the heels pressing down, even the toes, your big toe mounds pressing into the floor, and see if you can lift your hips here. So we're going to stay here and just finding some little pulses up and down hip lifts. Squeeze the glutes as you come up. Just a couple of rounds like this. Good. So if you wanted to add a little challenge, so you want to make sure this feels gentle on your knees. If you need to readjust your feet, moving them away from your body or closer just to support your knees, you can come on up and then it's pressing down into one foot. Extend the leg, bring it back down, lift up, go down, lift up, extend, bring it in. Good. So it's just maybe working with the extension now. So you could do that. Extending through the heels. You could stay here just pulsing the hips up and down. To add a little bit more challenge, you can come onto your tippy toes and add the hip lifts, and maybe even adding that kick. Adds a little bit extra fire. Beautiful. Lift the hips. Wherever you are, just keep moving and keep breathing. Or if you're not moving, then just pay attention to your breath in and out. You might even just pay attention to how the back of your head feels on the ground each time your feet touch the floor. Come back in to your regular neutral if both feet are up or your toes are on the ground or your heels, and hold it at the top a couple more pulses up and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and hold, squeeze the glutes, lift a little higher. 2, 1, and then slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Beautiful. Bring your knees together, feet wide, resting pose, arms wide. Or your hands on your body. Just take a couple of breaths here, letting everything settle. Soft, easy, tender breaths in and out. Noticing how your breath may have shifted throughout the class. And just invite it down a little bit deeper into the body if it can. No forcing, just noticing. Okay, and ending here, you're going to bring your feet together and we're just going to take a twist. Take your knees over to the left. Arms out. Just let your rib cage soften. Bring your knees back to center. Other side, just letting the knees fall. Readjusting your low back however you need to. You might need to bring your hips a little closer to the center as you do that. See about your shoulder. The shoulder might be way off the ground. That's okay. Just let it be there. Notice how that feels. Or you can bring your hands in towards your body. Just notice your breath again. See if you can soften any holding, any tension that might be remaining. You scanned your body right now, just without having to really change anything, just noticing it. Using your breath to soften. And you're going to come back up into a center. Knees can come toward your chest. Give them a little squeeze. You might even lift your head, bring your forehead towards your knees. And then again, you're placing your feet on the ground. You can come to rest with your knees together, feet wide, or you can let your legs be long. Hands can be on your body or hands by your sides. And you're going to take, again, as much time as you need here. So please stay. If it feels good to soften your eyelids, let your eyelids soften. And I'm just going to sit here while you stay in a resting position for the next couple of minutes. And I offer this practice, obviously, today in the yoga tradition. Also, we tend to dedicate our practice when we come to our mat to those who might need it, to those who might need our loving energy. So today I extend that out to those who need it, to those who are suffering, for those who have lost someone they love. And one of the ways that we can actually practice that in a very simple way, and again, I'll get quiet, but is just to use the practice of Tonglen, which is actually taking in, if it feels right for you, is taking in, so we don't know how to help really, we don't know, we feel maybe sometimes helpless in our ways we can be there for each other, especially right now, is just to take in, again, all entirely up to you, but see if you can take in a suffering or pain of someone else, if you can actually just imagine that. And actually take it in and place it in your heart. Like breathe it in into your own heart space. Make room in there. And as you exhale, you're just sending out relief, sending out love, sending out whatever it is, healing. It's just a way to bring in this practice of breathing in suffering and exhaling out healing, exhaling out love. Noticing your huge capacity and the amount of space you have within to hold that for people, to hold it for yourself, if you're called to do that. It's just to breathe in anything that you're feeling. Breathing in the suffering of others, letting it be there, let it sit in your own heart space and watch it transform. Just be with that and then allow it to transform into a healing energy as you exhale. It's really simple. All you have to do is just mindfully take that breath, inhale. Allow that energy just to sit in your own heart and then just let it be transformed on your exhale as a loving, light, healing energy. It is a beautiful practice because you can do it on the spot. You don't need any tools other than just the awareness of your breath and the desire to transform energy, to breathe in others' suffering, if that feels good to you. And know that it's not adding more suffering in your own heart, but the ability to transform it and then to give it away in a different form, to let it transform, to be transmuted into a positive energy on the way out. Sit with this, sit with yourself, lay on the floor, take care of your body, take care of your heart, take breath in and breath out, just feeding your body what it needs, which is just more oxygen. And then doing the best you can, moment by moment. Please stay here, or if you're ready to finish, you can place your hands together at your heart, just in front of your chest. And then raise your thumbs up to your third eye, the space right between your eyebrows, and just take a breath here, just noticing that space behind your thumbs that goes deep inside of your brain.